Good morning, dear children. Today we are going to learn the world around us, or TWAU chapter 1. Water, the essence of life. It is raining. Efrain rushed to the window where Jyoti was already watching teeny drops slide down the glass. Where do you think all this water comes from and where does it go? Asked Efrain. Come, let us follow the journey of water. But first, let us see how much water there is on earth. It is the whole of earth. Do you know how much water is there? If you take the map, the world map, you see the white portion is the land and this blue portion is filled with water. So if you put all the land together, it will be very less portion. Rest majority portion will be water. And although most of the earth's surface is covered with water, majority of it is salty and leaving less amount of fresh water. So let's see. If this is the earth's surface, 71% is ocean and 29% is only land. And in this 71%, water covers the 71%, defining it as blue planet. The earth is called blue planet because the 71% is water. Of all the water on the planet, about 96% means of this water, 96% is salt water and only 3% is fresh water. So out of the whole water available in the earth, only this much drop or 3.5% will be fresh water. Rest all are salt water. And you know what happens to this fresh water? These fresh waters are not available in taps or well readily for our drinking purposes. It will be there in oceans, lakes, rivers, groundwater, ice, etc. It will be there spread in many forms. And this would be this all liquid fresh water if it is collected in spheres. And most of this fresh water is trapped in glaciers and ice caps also. So, in the textbook, it is given an example. 200 ml of water, if you take it in a cup, 5 ml of a spoon is fresh water. And do you know about Gujarat? Have you heard about Gujarat? It is a state in India. The salt pans of Gujarat are vast flatlands where seawater is dried to collect salt. It is one of the largest salt producing areas in India. So this is the Gujarat salt producing area. You see in the ocean the salt is deposited in this land and people collect it. So these are the salt pans of Gujarat. They're vast flatlands, no, like seawater is dried to collect salt water. And India is one of the largest salt producing areas in India. And do you know where in Gujarat it is? It is in Rann of Kutch. Rann of Kutch is one of the world's largest seasonal salt deserts. It spans over 7,500 square kilometers. Next is, where can we find fresh water? We can find fresh water in ponds and in sea and ocean also. From the rivers, it goes to the sea and ocean where we can separate the salt and take it. And in the glaciers and lakes and groundwater, rainwater, well, and in stream or rivers also we can find fresh water. There are three forms of water. Water comes in solid form, which is ice. It is very hard, no? And thereby water is also having its liquid form, which is the water we drink, the liquid form. And when the water gets heated, it evaporates as gas. So the three forms of water are solid, liquid and gas. Do you know the water cycle? The water in the rivers, lakes, where all we learned recently, these water gets heated and evaporates and goes up. Evaporates means it is a process by which the water, after getting heated, becomes gas. It turns into gas and goes up, and there it condenses. Condensation is the process where a gas loses its heat and transforms into a liquid. So in the air it goes and it condenses and then it precipitates. Precipitation refers to any water in liquid or solid form that falls from the atmosphere to the earth's surface, and it comes down as rain, snow, sleet, hail or graupel. So again, this is the process is called water cycle. As you have seen, the sun's heat causes the water to turn into water vapor. When the water vapor cools, it forms small droplets inside the bag. Eventually, these droplets fall back down. Similarly, in nature, heat causes water from different sources like oceans and rivers to become water vapor. Water vapor forms the clouds, which come down as rain, snow, and hail. This water goes back into the rivers, lakes, and oceans. This constant circular movement of water in nature is called water cycle. Now let's see about what happens to this rainwater when it comes down. The rainwater has to soak in the soil, which is very good for our earth and for us. When it rains, some water is soaked up by the soil. This water sinks through the layers of soil and rocks. The water gets stored deep underground and it is called groundwater. We dig wells, bore wells, tube wells and hand pumps to draw this water from the ground. So in a concrete road, tell me, will the water get soaked in under the soil? Yes or no? In the paved area where it's cemented or concreted or tiled, does the water get soaked up in the soil? Only in the green lawn, in the soil where there is no cement, only in the free soil with plants and trees, the water gets soaked. In cities with many cemented surfaces, rainwater cannot go into the ground easily, which stops groundwater from getting recharged. Surface water, rivers, ponds, lakes, etc. are the natural sources of fresh water in addition to groundwater. And do you know where these water flows? All this river water, a river often begins its journey from up in the mountains and flow down across the land. This let us understand through an activity. And dear children, I want you to do this activity. You should take an old newspaper, a cup of mustard seeds or any other small seeds. You should crumple the paper and create folds and put these mustards over this. The what mustards will flow in different directions. It won't flow in one way. It flows and goes in different directions like a river according to the slope of the paper. So the same way rivers also flows in different directions according to the nature of the land. Water flows water flows, stops or curves according to the shape of the land formations in its path. The flow of water can also change the shape of the land. So, I want to talk to you about an interesting river called Luni River. Luni River originates in the Aravalli range in Rajasthan. It is the only major river in India that does not drain into the sea. Instead, it ends up in the marshy lands of the Rann of Kutch in Gujarat. Did we recently learn about Ran of Kutch? The Ran of Kutch is the place where we learned about the salt pans. Now this is a river system. See, there will be a source of river where it originates from top of a mountain. Then it falls down as waterfalls, and there will be lots of tributaries. Tributaries are small rivers which joins the big river. And this river will flow towards the downward slope, and before it enters an ocean, it forms a delta before in its mouth. So this delta is the river which gets divided and flows into the ocean. So the Luni River originating in the Aravalli range in Rajasthan, here through Delhi, Haryana, Rajasthan, and it ends up in Ran of Kutch. It is the only major river in India that does not drain into a sea. Instead, it ends up in the marshy lands of Ran of Kutch in Gujarat. Do you see the Aravalli Hills here? This is the Thar Desert and this Aravalli Hills in Rajasthan. This is called the Aravalli Range. The Aravalli Range is a mountain range in northwestern India. Here it is east, west, north, northwestern India. Aravalli comes from the Sanskrit word Ara and Valli meaning line of peaks. So it runs approximately 670 kilometers in southwest direction, starting from Delhi, passing through southern Haryana and Rajasthan and ending in Ahmedabad, Gujarat. And there is also highest peak in the Aravalli range, which is called Guru Shikhar in Mount Abu. So I just wanted to show you this Aravalli range in India, how it looks like. It's a long, big mountain range, right? Isn't it beautiful? Now let us learn about some rivers. Do you see the Ganga river here? Ganga river is one of the longest rivers in India. And the second longest river is Godavari, which is also called the Dakshin Ganga, because Godavari is in the south of India and it is south is called Dakshin, and Godavari is also considered a sacred river. So it is called Dakshin Ganga. So the first longest river is Ganga and second longest river is Godavari. And I have marked this Brahmaputra also. It is the largest river, and the Brahmaputra is also called the sorrow of Bengal because the Brahmaputra, after collecting all the water, reaches Bengal with so huge water that it often causes floods in Bengal. Now you can see an interesting picture with ice cap, glacier, mountains, waterfalls, river flowing. There is a lake here. There is a valley, the dunes, desert, and the water flowing downwards towards a big river or ocean. So, this is the India map which we just saw. And you can also see the name of the rivers. You have to do this activity on your text. It's an interesting activity where you can find from the map the rivers which move towards the Bay of Bengal. Bengal is this side. This ocean is called the Bay of Bengal. And there are certain rivers which moves towards the Arabian Sea. This side is the Arabian Sea. Bay of Bengal is because it is near West Bengal. It is called Bay of Bengal. Now, do you see this plant here? Do you know what kind of a plant is this? This plant is called mangroves. Mangroves are very helpful for the water organisms, the plants, the fishes, all living creatures in the water. They love to have mangroves. It purifies the water. It helps them as a hideout. The fishes, the big fishes come and eat the small fishes. So the small fishes have a hideout here so that big fishes can't reach here. and there are lots of corals and algae near these mangroves. Now these are some of the water animals which live. Dragonfly always lives near water to eat the microorganisms in the water. Frogs, mosquitoes, pond skaters, yellow water lilies. These are things which we can see above the water. And under the water there are these tadpoles, the baby of these frog. Then there is the fish, water beetle, bloodworm. Then there is snail, leech, the larvae. Then there are lots of such animals, insects and plants under the water. So you need to understand which are the animals on land that cannot breathe in water and the animals in water which have fins to swim. This activity you can do it in your textbook. You can go through this information card wherein you can see a dragonfly, water scorpion, freshwater turtle, pond heron, water snake, reeds, lotus and water lily, water hyacinth, etc. Now we have learned lots about water, rivers, the water cycle, plants and animals. So dear children, I hope you could understand this chapter. I would really be happy if you can just go through the textbook, do the activities and come back to me if you have any doubts. Thank you so much.